Sheriff's Office, Lori. How may I help you?
My nephew got out of prison a few months back, ended up going back to jail, ended up just getting out. That's the long and the short of it. He's back staying with my parents. My mom was supposed to call me back last night. Haven't heard from her or my dad. Can't get them on the phone.
Not every day I get fooled.
Oh.
How many times did you stab him?
Man, what? No.
How many times did you stab him? And split him open too? That's hardcore, man.
I know this sounds crazy. I don't know, you probably never heard of it, but I was in jail with Neurostorm when I was at Santa Rosa. Yeah. So whatever this is about, you know what I'm saying, it seems kind of serious to me because I pulled up like 4 deep, but I feel like it might be pertaining to that, like I'm being targeted.
On February 22nd, 2024, 2 dead bodies were found in 2 separate bedrooms in the King household in the Bellevue area, Pensacola, Florida. The couple were identified as Claiborne King Jr. and Andrea King. Claiborne was discovered in a scene of unimaginable violence, his skull crushed by repeated, savage blows. His body bore multiple deep puncture wounds, each one adding to the brutality of the attack. Nearby, a pair of blood-soaked scissors lay discarded in a room streaked with the chaos, walls marked not just with blood, but with disturbing, erratic scrawls. In the next room, his wife, Andrea, was found lifeless. She had been strangled with a USB cord pulled so tightly it left deep, bruised impressions carved into her neck. The prior call was placed by their concerned son, Jonathan King. Jonathan informed during his 911 call his nephew, Jordan, who had just been released from prison 3 months prior, had been living with his parents and Jordan's grandparents after release. But he heard nothing from his parents for a day, and Jonathan knew the horrors Jordan was capable of, and he wasn't wrong. But the most shocking detail of all? The writings on the wall. What Jordan left behind wasn't just dead bodies. He left behind his motive. A phrase written on the wall saying, "Police, they killed my family, used a Neurostorm on me, and AI for Santa Rosa CI staff no." Jordan is brought in for questioning to get deeper into this disturbing truth.
We found him today. When's the last time you saw your grandma and granddaddy?
Last night.
When last night?
Around 6. I told my grandma I was going for a walk around Fox Run, and I went for a walk and I just kept going. Okay. And I haven't been home since.
So tell me about this. Like, kind of walk me through what happened yesterday.
Hold on. How'd they die?
They were murdered.
When you say murder, what you mean? They were shot?
We're still working on it. We're still working on
trying
to figure that out.
What y'all got me to turn for? Man, that shit crazy at all.
Well, and the bottom line is, if you weren't there, you have nothing to worry about, right? But the bottom line is, we have to figure out what happened. You live there, and you're not there now. They're both dead. And all we want to do is get answers to find out what happened.
I can't tell my uncle, I can't tell my daddy that I'm having problems with people in the streets due to gang activity. Okay. I'm telling her and my granddad on a daily basis what's going on, and they wouldn't believe it. And they wouldn't believe what's going on. My stepfather has a full understanding of what's going on.
Okay. Well, tell me. I'm here to listen to you. I want to know what's going on. Because I want to figure out what happened to him. I mean, this is your grandma and grandpa. You've been with them your whole life, right? That's what you told me.
Man, this shit wild, man. I don't know what, man. I left at 6 o'clock last night. The last thing my grandma said was, "All right, be careful. You know the code when you come back." She gave me $10. I told her I was gonna walk up to Tom Thorne, and I just ended up going to Fox Run and cutting up.
Where'd you stay last night?
I stayed nowhere. $10 ain't gonna give me enough in the hotel room.
I got that, but you had to. Did you just walk around all night?
I walked around literally all night. You can ask the Dollar General lady. I came all the way where I was at. The Dollar General around where the officer picked me up at. I walked all the way over there.
Okay.
Getting out of prison, I can just walk.
Okay. So tell me about yesterday. Tell me about your day yesterday. You were at the house till 6 o'clock. So tell me about what you did.
I was at the house all day.
Okay.
I was outside smoking black and mild, sitting on the gray
that little bench up front by the door.
It's not a bench. It's like a little tan. It's like a little tan thing to sit on, like I don't know what they call it, a weight bin, like something you put stuff in.
Okay.
My neighbor saw me. She drove past me. Man, this shit wild, man. Y'all told my stepfather?
Yeah. Yeah, we've told all your family. Now I'm telling you. But again, we need to figure out what happened. So yesterday morning, what time do you normally get up?
I get up early from prison. I probably get up around like 5. Okay. I got up. She cooked like a sausage, egg, and biscuit for me and my grandfather. I went in the room, watched TV. I really been on my phone watching YouTube all day and just go outside to smoke a black and mild. They left for a little bit.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable being in the house because, and as you can see on complaint that I made to police, somebody actually broken into my house and did shit, you know what I'm saying, while I was inside the house, and we got into the altercation, so I've actually called police for that. But this is not the first time this is the first time shit happened. Dead, my grandparents dead. I ain't got nobody else, my mama gone.
Which room is yours in the house?
My room to the right. All the way.
So if I'm walking, I walk in the front door, I turn down that hallway, I walk to the end where it tees. Your grandparents' room's over here, yours is the one that's over on the far side?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you were hanging out in your room, your grandparents left at some point?
They left, came back. I stayed probably around like 3 o'clock. I went inside. I'm on my granddaddy with like, the dog was barking. I'm on my granddaddy with like, pet the dog. So he'll start barking. I was like, I'm just taking with me in the room. He's just holding for a little bit so he'll get used to me. But really, like, when they're out there, they watch Westerns. And my grandma just cook. And I'll be in my room. This shit crazy, man. And what that lady said, something about fitting the description. Man, lady got me. I mean, it's my grandparents, man.
Well, I mean, you don't fit the description. I mean, you are their grandson. So it's not you fit in the description.
Okay, you find them.
I mean, yeah, you fit the description of the grandson because we were looking for you.
You find them deceased. Yeah,
and we know you live there and you're not there.
But you say you're still trying to figure out, did they die from gunshots?
We don't know how they died yet.
For someone who hadn't even tried to wash the blood from his hands, face, or feet, Jordan King carried himself with striking confidence. Inside the interrogation room, he leaned into that fact, playing along as if he had no idea his own grandparents had died. But that was only the beginning. Across from him sat Travis Firth, a detective seasoned by some of Escambia County's most disturbing cases. He had seen suspects like Jordan before, calculated, manipulative, and willing to lie without hesitation. So this time would be no different. Instead of pushing too hard, Firth chose patience, stepping into his own psychological game, one designed to slowly peel back the layers and expose the truth behind a betrayal driven by rage.
So 6 o'clock you leave. Where do you go immediately after you leave the house?
I walked around the whole neighborhood. You can make a circle, go, you come out, take a right, go around the whole, it's like, guided lane, go down here, you can go down, take a left. I forgot what the name of this neighborhood is called, but you can come out this way and go to Fox Run. And then from there I went past my homeboy Marcus' house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to see him, I just walked past his house and went straight up and came out to that road on Tom Thumb, and I just, my phone doesn't work like how that's supposed to be working, and people just don't answer the phone for me getting out of prison. I really don't have about it. So everybody I know I could probably try to contact the girl I was talking to. I had one girl I was talking to. I knew she wasn't gonna answer the phone. But
what made you go live with your grandparents when you got out?
they all I had. They all I had.
You guys close?
Yeah, that's my grandparents. That's my mama here. Yeah, that's all I have. And my stepfather, but my uncle and me really don't get along. But those 3 people are all I have, like my circle. And I kept telling my stepdad, my nanny and my granddaddy, what's going on. I called him nanny and I kept telling them what's going on. I'm beating with game. Remember, you need to take this stuff seriously. You need to lock the door. If you see any funny movement, just, you know what I'm saying, call the police and that. No, Jordan, you don't have to worry about that. We protect you. I see you 75 years old. These people coming with guns and all type of, you really need to be invested to protect yourself. No, you'll be all right. That stuff's not gonna follow you from prison.
So do you have an issue with somebody that, I mean, you're talking about these gangs that you have a beef with. Who are they?
I really don't want to speak on that, sir, because I can't, but.
Well, don't you think it could be connected? So don't you think it's important that I understand that?
It's crazy, man.
Oh, I agree.
I got a whole game file.
Okay. So who is it? So who is it that would want to hurt your grandparents?
I mean, I got a whole lot of people that want to hurt me. And so if they did something to my grandparents through me, then that's what I can imagine. But nobody want to hurt my grandparents. Man, my grandparents, who the hell? Never had no problem. 75 years old.
Yeah.
So if anything happened, they happened because of me.
And they took you in after you got out of prison. Took care of you. Sounds like grandma cooks for you and everything.
Damn, dog.
Did your grandparents raise you?
My mama did, but we lived right next door.
Okay.
And I could just walk over there. So I would around my grandma every day. And my granddad.
What did your granddaddy do? Like before he retired?
He was a teacher at Go Breeze High School.
Okay. What did he teach?
English. And then my grandma worked at like this thing where they kind of like teach other teachers how to teach.
Okay. I got you.
Violent.
So after you leave at 6 o'clock, so you leave, you walk around the neighborhood, where you go from there?
I told you I leave, I come out the neighborhood, I take a right, go out that way, come back in the neighborhood. That's like leaves dog guided, come into this little neighborhood. It circles you back to Fox Run. And then when I hit that road on Fox Run, I went straight up. You know, Tom Thumb on my list, and I just went straight up from there and just kept going. You can ask the lady on Motel 6 on, I don't know what the street's called, but Car City. I asked her, can I get a hotel room for cheap? And she said, no, it doesn't work like that. But it's just sometimes, being honest, paranoia of somebody coming and do something because I understand how serious things are. You can ask my dad, and we had conversations while I called him, like, Pop, man, I'm getting threats, so I'm feeling like something gonna happen to me. I can't do the game. If I had Pop would think I should do, we were like, well, if you ain't got enough money for a hotel room, man, you should just thug it out. But people don't really understand how it can go in games. So I just left, especially being in prison 5 years and dealing with the things I dealt with and going through the people I dealt with, I was going through it with.
So how often do you leave the house and not come home?
A lot, because I just got out of prison. So I like to just go out.
So it's hard for you to sit still? Or?
It's not hard for me to sit still, it's just, I like to just go out. I guess somebody will come pick me up, I'll just go out with them, or I'll just go for a walk. So I'll just sit out there on the front porch and smoke a black and mild, but man.
So why didn't you go home last night?
Because I was just walking. By the time I went down there, I already told my grandma I was gonna try to get a hotel room.
How often do you stay in a hotel?
A lot. She got me a lot of hotel rooms.
Jordan King is almost overly confident in his version of events. But what he doesn't realize is that he's already brought a critical piece of evidence into the interrogation room with him, wearing it in plain sight. And all it takes now is a single, well-timed line from Travis Firth to unravel the story he's been so carefully building. The illusion of a calm, ordinary walk.
When they brought you in today, you had blood all over your face.
I don't know what they talking about, blood on my face. I got blood on the back of my heel from my shoes being tight that I had, size 9s.
So what's interesting is your granddaddy's beat pretty bad.
What you mean beat?
There's a lot of blood. A lot of blood all over that room.
What you mean, a lot of blood on the room?
Just what I said. How many ways can that mean? Can someone mean that?
I don't know, man. It's like you getting sarcastic, man. I don't want to hear that man about my granddaddy, man. He talking about he got beat.
Well,
and y'all coming at me like I had something to do with this shit. Man, I ain't you talking about blood on my face. I ain't got no blood on my face.
You did have blood on your face. And you got blood on your feet.
Okay.
And you know what? And you know what else? There's bloody footprints all through the hallway.
Man.
Back and forth to your bedroom.
Okay, so man, one thing I
Back
know.
and forth to the bathroom.
One thing I know, so two things I know for certain, I ain't this shit. So whatever y'all gonna do, if y'all gonna charge me with something, charge me. If y'all gonna let me go to my grandparents. I love my grandparents to death.
Well, I get that. You love your grandparents to death, which is why I think something bad happened. And I think you made a mistake.
Who made a mistake?
You.
What you mean you think I made a mistake?
Just what I said. If you love your grandparents, then that tells me you didn't do this intentionally.
Intentionally? You think I did this?
Oh, well, I absolutely think you did this.
One thing, so two things, certain. I ain't this shit to my grandparents, man.
Then tell me who would. Then tell me why someone would do this to your grandparents.
For the games.
Tell me. You keep saying that, but you won't talk about it. But you want me to accept that. And what I've got is I've got your grandmother who's dead. and I've got your grandfather who's dead.
Yeah, when you saying this,
and there's blood everywhere in the house.
You saying a lot of emotion, right?
And you've got blood all over you. So you got to understand how that looks from my perspective.
Man, I ain't had no goddamn blood on me, man. And you coming at me.
You got blood on you.
Where I believe this from, and it's gonna sound crazy when I say it, and I'm gonna bring this up, which I really don't believe that it is. Should anything come of what you're saying toward me, I was injected with a Neurostorm while I was at Santa Rosa CI illegally. That's FBI technology. And every time I try to speak on what's going on, people try me like I'm crazy. People try me like I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't want to talk to you like you're crazy.
You know what that is, sir?
I want the truth.
Do you know what that is?
Tell me about that. You just said Neurostorm to me. That's written on the wall in your bedroom.
Man, I wrote that like 4 days ago.
What? They killed my family.
Man, there was so much going on in that house. Many people breaking in and out of the house. It was so much going on in that house for days and days and days. Man, I got a Neurostorm legally implanted in me by the government. These people have been trying to kill me for money. These people are doing all type of shit to the house. All type of shit to me. Like, man, that's crazy. AI is artificial.
Who's these people?
Hey, the government. The government doing this because, man.
Why you? Why is the government targeting
because
you?
I was talking about shit I've been talking about on the door when I was at Santa Rosa. See, these people have artificial intelligence on my phone. Okay. And when I go to talk about certain things, they would just cut the app completely off my phone.
It's hard to tell what kind of sci-fi narrative Jordan King believed he was part of, but his explanation for his grandparents' death is nothing short of surreal. He talks about gang beef, invisible neuroswarms attacking his brain, and AI chips supposedly implanted in his foot during his time in jail, as if any of it could compete with reality. But the facts weren't going anywhere. His bloody footprints matched those found at the scene. Blood still lingered on his body, and despite all the elaborate storytelling, the physical evidence painted a far simpler picture, one that the interrogation would relentlessly circle back to.
I'm trying to find out what happened to my grandparents. Man,
me too.
Yeah,
we have that in common.
That's what we need to do, because I damn sure ain't do it. You sitting here accusing me. I love them people, man. I just told you I had problems and had problems with people on the street. That's all it could be.
What? And why would those people come in and do that to your grandparents?
Gang problems. This is the type of shit that goes on.
What gang problems?
I'm that.
See, that's where we get to every time. You don't want to tell me about it. You want me to accept it, and you want me to believe the things that you're saying, but you don't want to talk about it.
Am I being detained?
You are absolutely being detained.
Okay, how long am I being detained? Am I being charged?
That is a strong possibility right now.
I don't know how.
You got blood on you. You're the only other person that lives in the house. You were not present. Your grandparents are both dead. They have both been murdered. Violently. And you got blood on you.
Why the f*** from the bottom? My grandparents, my family. It's my grandmama and granddaddy.
Hey, it happens between people, man.
Man, I ain't had no goddamn blood on me, man.
It happens between people. Me, dog. Like, I get it. Like, I could see a scenario where you're talking about this, and your grandparents, would your grandparents listen to you about this stuff when you talk about it?
Hell yeah. This is my grandparent.
I understand you, but I'm just wondering if maybe they got tired of listening to it. And they pushed back on
it. To it.
Just what I said.
One thing about my grandma and granddaddy, these people love me, I love them. I can come talk to them about anything.
But clearly something happened.
Yeah, clearly something happened. If my grandparent dead, I ain't had nothing to do with it. If that's what y'all trying to insinuate, man, this
I'm not trying to insinuate it. I point blank told you that I think you had something to do with it. And I'm asking you for an explanation of how you didn't. Because again, we're looking at the facts. And I've got blood that I guarantee is going to match your feet from your grandpa's room, where he's at, to your bedroom, to the bathroom, and then out of the house.
And you say it's a guarantee? And so if you guarantee that, and it does come back, that's what it is, which is not, because I don't know what I ain't got nothing to do with it. That's my granddaddy. That's y'all playing games because you have the knowledge that I have.
I'm not playing any games. I'm telling you what I have.
I mean,
and I'm being straight with you. So you keep saying I'm insinuating. No, I'm not insinuating. I'm point blank saying I believe that you killed your grandma and your grandpa.
I ain't kill nobody, man.
Okay.
I ain't kill no damn body. Is y'all gonna let me go? Cause
no, I'm not letting you go.
What you mean not letting me go?
How am I gonna let you go?
Man, I ain't do shit to nobody, man.
It's easy to say that, but the evidence looks a little different.
Man, you crazy here, man. So what, I'm being charged with this?
Potentially.
Man, hell no, man.
I will let you know when I make that decision.
Charge me with what?
Murder. 2 counts.
Man, you tripping, man. My grandparents?
Yeah.
Jordan King wasn't new to violence. He had just come off a 5-year prison sentence for burglary and grand theft, ending in late 2023. Not long after, he was arrested again, this time for trespassing after forcing his way into a stranger's home with a knife, rambling about being chased by gangs. The paranoia was becoming impossible to ignore. His grandparents had seen it too, desperately trying to get him help through mental health intervention. But those warning signs only built towards something far worse, until that instability finally turned inward, erupting in violence against his own family. But across the table, Travis Firth wasn't buying the act. He wasn't about to let Jordan control the narrative. Step by step, he prepared to box him in. First, by gauging where Jordan stood on his grandparents' death, then by tightening the pressure, pointing directly to the evidence still on his own body. With each move, the strategy became clear. Layer the pressure, close the gaps, and let the cracks form. Because with so many psychological angles in play, Jordan's unstable facade wasn't going to hold for long.
One thing so two things, sir. I wouldn't give a how you feel about how I feel about my grandparents, man. At all. Like, I know I love my grandparents.
Oh, I think you did. I have no doubt you love your grandparents, but I think that
Bro, I'm not gonna get mad.
I think they pushed you to a point.
I'm a 24-year-old grown man. I'm not gonna get mad and do whatever it is.
Then who would?
How the f*** supposed to know? I'm beefing with a lot of people. My daddy knows that.
Nobody you're beefing with would have gone in and done.
And how you know that? How the f*** would you know
because
that?
Nobody. Because
do you know the whole Pensacola, Florida?
Because I know nobody's gonna take the time to do something like that.
What the
they gonna shoot him. They gonna shoot him. It's simple and over and done with.
What did they do?
I've already told you.
What did they do? Because you making this, you talking about blood sprayed over here and take the time like they meticulously. What the f*** they do to my grandparents? I want you to describe it to me what they did to my grandparents.
Your granddad was beat to death. He is not even recognizable in the face right now. There is blood all over his bedroom. There is blood sprayed up the wall. There is blood sprayed across the floor.
Oh, no.
There is blood all over him. Now, Grandma, she wasn't beat. But you already know that.
You got me. But, man, tell me what I already know, man. I ain't got time for these tactics that y'all be on, man. That, man, if you gonna charge me, whatever it is that you trying to make it seem like I did, you can sit back there and laugh, man. I know I ain't did shit.
Yeah, that's what I'd say, too.
I know you cared more about your grandma than you did your granddaddy.
That's why you didn't beat her up.
What the type of sick shit that is, man? Man, I love these, man, these my grandparents.
You loved her. She took care of you. She found your rooms, didn't she? She paid for rooms.
Listen, man, I just said one thing about my grandma finding rooms. You just want to bring that up to try. You don't know me and my grandma and my granddad.
I know she loved you.
You just throwing all type of shit.
Oh, I guarantee
you trying to make it seem like, man, I would not do no to these people, man.
Well, and
I don't want to keep going back and forth about that.
That's what's fascinating to me is like you weren't like it wasn't like what happened to your granddaddy was savage, like straight up.
I would not do no like that.
But
first off, period. I'm not doing.
That was gentle. What size shoe do you wear?
I wore size 9.
The other thing too, you're talking about all this stuff being on your phone, people messing with your phone. I can actually look in your phone and figure that out. If that happened. You're
not gonna tell the truth. You know that you probably know people on the FBI.
Oh,
you with these people, man.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of people in the FBI, so we ain't got to worry about that. We got that in common. FBI's a little weird. They do stuff a little strange.
Man, this is crazy, man. I definitely had nothing to do with none of this at all, man. I'm talking about in the way y'all trying to make it seem like I know I ain't had no blood on my cheek. You say you got piercings of me having blood on my cheek?
Yeah.
Well, that's a lie.
The blood's there, so give me an explanation for how the blood gets there if it's not Grandpa's blood.
It ain't gonna be my granddaddy blood. I got a cut on the back of my hip from one of them tight ass shoes that my skin could peel back on. You see that bit?
Yeah, well, I see it. I see. Yeah, you're right. You got a blister, but that's not going to get blood on your face, and that's not bleeding. But what I can tell you is there's dry blood on the bottom of your feet. I can see it.
Got blood on the bottom of my feet.
There's dry blood on the bottom of your feet. Put your foot up on your leg.
I'm not doing none of that, man, because I don't know what type of games you
I'm
playing.
not playing a game. I'm just going to show you. All I'm going to do is point. Now I know you don't believe that I can sit in this room and make blood appear on your feet just by pointing at them. I know you're not going to say that.
You can swallow what you want, but I'll walk around barefoot. Yesterday I ain't had no socks.
Okay. Let me see your feet.
I'm not doing that, man.
Put your feet
You're
up
not
here.
going to make it look like no type of well being in this room.
I'm not trying to make anything.
While I'm on camera.
I'm not trying to make anything.
That camera recording, right?
Yeah. So,
Okay,
so then I can't do anything, can I? How am I going to do? All I'm asking is look at your feet. That's all I'm asking. Because when you just put your foot up there, I can see there's dry blood on it. All I'm going to do is point to you and show you what I'm talking about. You know what else I see? I see blood right there on your pants. Right there.
There was no coming back from this for Jordan King. The pressure inside the interrogation room had become too overwhelming, the blows too precise, and now that Travis Firth had gained the upper hand, he wasn't about to let it slip. The dried blood on Jordan's feet lingered like a silent accusation, impossible to ignore, impossible to explain away. And Firth knew it. He zeroed in on it, tightening the focus, methodically closing in. Because from this point on, it wasn't just evidence. It was the detail that would ultimately seal Jordan's fate.
There's blood on your face.
There's not blood on my feet.
Then what is it?
Blood on my face had came from this.
Answer the question.
No.
What's on your feet?
What's on your feet?
What's on my foot? Dirt, black.
That's not dirt.
Black, man, that's
Oh,
black.
that's black. But all this?
Man, that's not blood, man.
Okay.
That's not, sir, that look like blood. That's black
Yep,
as
sure
fuck.
does.
Man, this come off and do like this.
Mm-hmm.
Look, get your little piece of paper. This is dirt. Man, this is dirt. That's not blood. You looking at it. Stop doing that for that camera because you know that camera can't see that. That is straight black soot from me walking in the mud like I just told you. Can you get your paper? I don't want you playing games on that camera. That is definitely not blood. And he can see that. What color is that?
Tell one.
What? Black from walking in the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, there is black on there, too.
Black from walking in the
There's
dirt.
more than just black on there. It's okay.
No, it's not.
It's all
Stop
good.
blagging.
It's all good.
Man, y'all crazy in here, man.
So you see
What the
going
on, man? This is why I say, y'all been talking to me.
But what I love to hear about that is now all of a sudden the blood on your face came from this off the corner of your lip. When you've been telling me the whole time there wasn't blood on your face. Now there's blood on your face that came from the corner of your lip.
Man, how you trying to make it seem like?
No, I'm not trying to make it seem like
because you saying you got a picture of the blood.
I do.
Okay, so if you saying you got a picture of the blood, which I really don't believe. Okay, you said you got a picture. I've been picking at this shit all goddamn day, but the swab won't tell me.
Now all of a sudden you've been picking at your lips. You got anything for now? I'm kind of done with it.
Man, I ain't got time for these old family guy games out playing, man. About my grandma, my granddaddy, man, I love them, man. You talking about blood on the bottom of my foot.
Well, you love them,
you
but
talking
you
about
killed them.
What? Man, you got me up, man. I ain't kill nobody.
Said you got toes, so they're gonna match exactly the footprints.
Yeah.
You don't have pretty feet, bro.
You don't.
I can tell you that.
The funny thing was when I was out there looking at the blood in the hallway, I'm like, that's some ugly damn feet.
See them two toes?
What way you say some old shit like that? Somebody did something to my grandparents.
You, not somebody. Stop saying somebody.
My grandparents like that, man. Stop playing with my grandparents. Talking about old ugly. Hey, you talking about a murder scene? You shouldn't be thinking about those shit.
Yes, those two goofy toes you have right there.
Number 3, number 4.
Man, what the f you mean? That's black.
No, when they're like this together, almost crossing, that's exactly what the matches of the footprints in the blood.
Man, I ain't with that. You talking about, man? You
Sure
talking about like that? Go and get a footprint. Then I definitely ain't did. You talking about you gonna detain me? You said blood on the bottom of my footprints. That's mud. If we can get somebody else in here right now to get a personal opinion, I would like to do that for the camera. Okay, that's one thing. You say with blood on my face, I don't believe that. But in the fact, which I really highly doubt, but I'm gonna say sure because that's what you say out your mouth. This is that right here. What you say when he pop, which I did pop, and this shot here I've been picking at, and it been bleeding. I can take it out right now and to bleed again. You laughing? What's funny about that?
Because you're trying to justify
I'm not trying to
everything
justify.
that we found, but you
100%.
still can't say that that's not your foot in the blood.
I just told you that's not my foot in the blood. See, that type of I'm talking about. I ain't got time for the game, man. You can go bust around, dog.
So
all that shit.
if you had a name underneath your foot, a birthmark just uniquely to you, and we showed you the same footprint with that unique birthmark,
I ain't got no problem.
You'd be like, that ain't my foot?
I ain't got no problem taking no, whatever it's called, man. Or I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got no problem with that. The reason I had a problem when they first came up to me just now trying to swab me was because they didn't tell me what was going on. All these people around here, she got a crime scene
So
shirt.
if we swab your hair and all that, that's not going to have any blood in it either, right?
No.
Okay.
No, man.
Because you haven't showered today.
No.
Okay.
And one thing I can say for certain, two things I say for certain, I've been talking about the government for months. This is why this going on.
Of course, according to Jordan King, the American government had a personal vendetta against him, specifically targeting him. But reality painted a very different picture. The truth was, Jordan should never have been out among civilians in the state he was in. His grandparents, however, chose compassion, taking him in, trying to get him the help he clearly needed for his growing paranoia. And in the end, they paid for that kindness with their lives. From the moment detectives noticed the blood on his feet, those dried crimson traces that mirrored the scene itself, something shifted. Inside the interrogation room, Jordan's composure began to crack. The confidence faded, replaced by quiet panic. And now, investigators were about to remove any doubt. The Luminol Test, a chemical that reacts to even invisible traces of blood, glowing blue under UV light, would expose what he couldn't wash away. Any hidden smears, any missed spots would come to the surface. At this point, there was nowhere left to hide.
Pop the light off?
Do you still need mine?
Yeah, I'm gonna need it in a second. Yeah, just for the light.
Sure.
Oh shit! Don't want the light. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a video. It'll be easier. Just focus. Pop the light on real quick.
Big one.
Yeah. All right, now you can turn it off. No, I don't want the light. It keeps doing that.
Need light?
Oh no, I'm good. Left foot. Or right foot, rather. Left foot.
I ain't thinking that shit, but it's cold.
Alright. Just make sure that's okay.
What that supposed to be? Where is dirt?
That shows where blood is. Yeah.
Alright.
Told you.
You tell me shit on
You
what
can turn the
time.
light back on. I'm gonna go ahead and swab now.
Did we get-
Cause you done sprayed me and feel like how you feel.
Yeah, I got video instead of photos because I was struggling with the photos.
Still gonna tell me there's not blood on your feet?
There ain't no goddamn blood on my feet.
There's blood on your feet.
You'll probably find your wife spit in my hair or something before you find anything else. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? You tripping, man. I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. And if you do try to say whatever it is that you say.
Oh no, I'm 100% trying to say there's blood between your toes.
Okay, yeah, man, cool.
So that's what that is. So we can play stupid
But
games
you want to lick in between
all
the
you
toes?
want.
You want to lick in between my toes too?
Sounds like something
It
that
sound like you got ready to play game for the FBI, cause you know these people doing illegal shit to me.
Yeah.
And they've been doing illegal shit to me.
The only one doing illegal shit is you. You killed your grandma and your grandpa, and you did it in the worst possible way.
Now, the picture is unmistakably clear. Jordan King carried out a brutal, unrestrained attack on his grandparents. Claiborne King suffered repeated blows from a blunt object, along with multiple deep puncture wounds, while Andrea King was strangled with a USB cord, the force leaving severe ligature marks. The scene itself told a damning story: violence, chaos, and footprints that led straight back to him. At this stage, only two things were missing: a confession and a clear motive. And Travis Firth knew exactly how to push things there. With the upper hand firmly established, he was ready to escalate, placing the weight of reality directly in front of Jordan by confronting him with the crime scene itself. What followed was no longer a calm exchange. The interrogation spiraled into tension and disorder, and for the first time, Jordan was completely unprepared for what was coming next.
Oh.
How many times did you stab him?
Man, what the?
How many times did you stab him? And split him open too? That's hardcore, man. What happened? That's all I want to know is why did you get this mad? Now I know you're mad at me. And I can see how you lose your temper.
The?
I thought for sure he was beat because
come
all
on, man, y'all got me up, man. Somebody do something to my
But what have you fucked up? Now, what I will say, and like I said, you're a lot more gentler with Grandma. I mean, you only strangled her. I just want to know, was it the thick cord or the little cord that was by her body? Which one did you use?
I'm gonna talk about that, man. You tripping, man.
I'm sure you don't want to talk about it.
You sitting here talking about I would do this to my family, man. I don't even look at this shit,
you 100% did it. There's no ifs, ands, or
man,
buts.
listen, man. Get this shit out of my face, man. I don't want to see no like this, dog.
I bet you don't, because I think you were mad when this happened.
I don't go what you think, man.
Tell me.
I don't go what you think, what you talking about.
Tell me how you lose control. Because that's what happened. You lost control. That's obvious. There's no way that you would have done this and been in control. Not the people you love. All I've been asking you is trying to understand what happened.
And somebody did this to my family, man.
No, not somebody.
Man, I'm
gonna
gonna talk, man, about that shit, man.
No, I bet you don't want to talk about it. I bet you don't want to talk about it.
No, when you sit here accusing me doing like that, man. My mama, man.
You got blood all over you. You got blood in your toes. You got blood all over your hands. You don't want you have blood all over your hands because this gets messy. You can't stab somebody this many times. You can't split somebody open. You do. What do you think the blue shit was glowing on you? Do you know what that is that we sprayed on you?
If I got blood all over me, you got blood in your bed.
Listen to me. Stop being an asshole and listen. It's a defense mechanism. Okay? The stuff we sprayed on you adheres to the iron in blood. It's called luminol. And it lit up like a Christmas tree.
No.
Lit up like a Christmas tree. And this is why. This is why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is on his belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't stab somebody 20 times and not get blood on you. And all the washing you did at the sink wasn't enough. You probably could have taken a shower and you'd still have blood on you.
When you spin this little fairy tale all you want, dog.
You can call it a fairy tale.
I'm sitting here looking at this.
You're sitting there looking at this because this is what you did.
Yeah,
this is what you did.
Okay, man. I'm not going to entertain that shit, man. You say you're going to charge me with
Oh, I've already charged you. I've already charged you with second-degree murder.
Insidious shit, man. I wouldn't dare do no shit like this, man.
Here's the problem, though. Is that without an explanation of why, this ends up becoming first-degree murder really, really quickly. Because to go to this level, but here's the thing. I think you just lost it. You guys have been arguing. Your dad and your uncle told us that. You guys have been arguing with each other.
But you know you give a thank you. A kick in your ass. I wouldn't dare do no shit like this.
Yeah.
But I'm not even this type of person. It's my fault me being that type of person in my family, man. But you gonna sit here and you gonna try to do your job and sit here and try to come to somebody like.
I think probably normally you're not, but I think you lost it. I think you had enough.
Not no elderly people, man. Not no elderly people. Not nothing like this ever. What the f***, man? This some old.
But this is what got me, and it's because you love her. This was gentle. This is always gentle. Yeah.
And that's what you think.
It beats the hell out of that.
Not all right, man.
That hurt. That was painful and that was slow. And he bled and bled until he died. And it wasn't quick, you know that, because it took forever. That's why there's blood all over the chair. That's why there's blood all over the walls, different from where he came down.
What you mean?
Just what I said. But you didn't notice that because you were in a rage.
You didn't notice all that. You telling me information about what happened.
Yeah, sure.
I ain't do this. So you telling me, I'm trying to take what you saying, but you shooting at me like I did.
Now, the truth stands fully exposed in front of Jordan King. But the question still lingers. Why? The answer lies in his steady psychological unraveling, After his release from prison, he spent months consumed by untreated paranoia, convinced that gangs were watching him and that neurostorms were inside his head. These delusions didn't just exist in isolation. They shaped how he interpreted everything around him. To him, his grandparents' attempts to help him weren't acts of care. They felt like threats. Their efforts to get him evaluated only deepened his suspicion, feeding a growing sense of fear and resentment. And over time, that tension reached a breaking point, turning violently against the very people who had taken him in. But in the end, none of that changes what happened. Across the table, Travis Firth remains focused on one thing: ensuring that justice is carried through, no matter the chaos that led up to it. As of the latest available updates, Jordan King remains in custody, facing serious charges as the case moves through the legal system. Meanwhile, the extended family of Claiborne and Andrea King has largely stayed out of the public eye, grieving privately and avoiding media attention, choosing, it seems, to remember the victims rather than relive the brutality of what happened.